What's going on, everybody? Sean here with 585 Outdoors, and today we're going to be doing a quick fly tying tutorial here. Today we're going to be doing the Peeping Caddis. This is one of my favorite patterns throughout the whole fishing season here. It's been really productive so far. It's usually pretty good for me all throughout the summer months as well. So here we go. Alright, we're starting off here with the size 16. This is a fulling mill jig force black nickel with a 2.8 millimeter slotted tungsten bead. There's the box there for that. We'll leave all the materials in the description down there below as well. Alright, so first thing I'm going to be using just a small little piece of 0.010 lead wire, just to add just a little bit of weight, help that fly get down. Just 4 or 5 wraps around the shaft here, around the shank. Snip that off, clean that up a bit, kind of snug it up against the bead. Make sure that's nice and clean. We'll keep that bead oriented correctly. I'm using just a real thin black thread here. To be honest, guys, I haven't been doing this long enough to really know the difference, but I'm using black for this. I've also used like a hot spot, sort of like a fluorescent pink or a red as well, but it just kind of seems like the natural color is just a little bit more productive for me with this particular fly. So I'm just kind of building a ramp here on the back side of the lead wraps, just again to keep it snug against the bead. A few wraps forward, just kind of lock all that into place and kind of smooth all that out. A few wraps back to about where the barb would be. Also notice this is a barbless hook. Snip that clean there. Now for the actual Peeping Caddis part. This is the Ultra Chenille, my Hareline Dubbin, and a fluorescent Chartreuse, like that. You want just kind of a small little tail coming off the back, nothing too crazy. I'm going to take some wraps there, just sort of get it started, real wide, kind of forward, backwards, just sort of get that locked in there on the top of that shank. Snip off that excess like that. Then we're just going to kind of clean all this up. This thread's probably a little on the thin side, so this will take forever to sort of lock all this down, sort of clean that up. You don't need to get every single little piece of green hair there locked down, but every little bit helps. All right, now for the fun part, I'm going to take a lighter and going to have it come just close enough to start singeing all that off. And you notice it kind of creates like a little head there. I've seen guys also color that with a magic marker, things like that. I don't know, kind of 6 one, half dozen the other. This has always just worked fine for me, just leaving it like that. All right, just for a little bit of extra durability, I add a little bit of, this is a 2X Tippet. Again, you can use anything from 5X all the way down to 2. This is probably a little bit overkill, but this is what I have available. And this will just kind of create a little bit of ribbing that you'll see here in a second. All right, next thing on here, we're going to be adding just a couple wraps. This is the Whiting's 100 This is a size 14. Some hackle fibers here. Just got a little piece here. Just gonna kind of tail end here. Strip a little bit out like such. Pinch off a couple of those barbs there, just to have something for this to grab onto. A few wraps there, kind of lock that into place. You want to keep it about mid shank, I have found. So just a couple wraps there, like such. Pull it forward. Your boy here needs to invest in a bobbin cradle, make this process a whole lot easier, but a couple wraps like that. That's all we're doing there for the tail end. Alright. Pinch these back just a little bit. And then we're going to take this thread, build up a little bit of ramp on the back. Baby. This will help kind of push and fan those hackle fibers sort of back into a conical shape towards the hook bend, like such. All right. Don't need to get too anal about cleaning all those extra fibers up. They're going to get wrapped up, and it's going to start looking pretty buggy here anyway. So for the actual body of the fly here, I've actually really liked using this Hare's Wiggle Dub, Hare's ear. I don't know if you can kind of see it from there, but it's got these little like thin, tiny little rubber pieces in there. Kind of almost makes it seem like a legs or something like that. So I'm gonna take a small little pinch here, create a thin little noodle here. A little bit more. Thinner the better, guys. It's just a whole lot easier to work with. I found that out the hard way. They always say it in all these other fly tying tutorials. You're like, yeah, whatever. And they actually try to tie it, and you're like, yeah, they were right. So we're going to start here in the back, right in front of where that the hackle fibers are. And some pretty tight wraps here forward. That should actually work out pretty good. Like that. So as you can see, all those little like rubber pieces and hairs and things like that, it makes it real kind of buggy looking, like a little caddis casing there in the bottom of the river. Alright, so then we're going to take this piece of tippet, we're just going to kind of rib it forward and just kind of keep everything in place. I don't think it really adds anything to the shape of it. It just sort of helps with the durability of that rabbit, that hare's ear. Alright. Couple wraps here at the front. Get that tied off. Excess. Boom. Bob's your uncle. 4 or 5 turn whip finish here at the front. Finish everything off. And I finish almost all my flies with like a head cement. Tiny little drop there on the threads. Just gonna help lock everything in place. Alright guys, there you have it, Peeping Caddis. Catches fish. I promise. I won't guarantee it, but I promise it will catch fish. Alright guys, good luck.